Hello and welcome to Keys News. I'm Annie Mae Walker.
And I'm New Folks. Our top story today.
Rough sleepers have criticised Manchester Council for how they have been treated, especially as the nights are getting colder.
Alice Peoples is at Piccadilly Gardens to report on the growing issue of homelessness in an already challenging year.
Sorry about that, we're just trying to get a hold of her now, but we'll move on to the next story.
We asked the council.
The new COVID-19 vaccine has started its circulation in Salford.
Salford Royal Hospital is one of the first hospitals allowed to administrate the vaccine. Emily Bertley is here with us live to explain more.
Hi, so England Deputy Chief Medical Officer says the first waves of vaccinations could prevent up to 99% of COVID hospital admissions and deaths. Those deemed to be most vulnerable to the virus, the over 80s and some healthcare staff, will be the first to be given the virus, which is the biggest vaccination programme in NHS's history. Margaret Keenan, who turns 91 next week, was the first person in the world to be given the vaccine, stating it was the best early birth present she could wish for. It was the first of 800,000 doses which will be given over the next couple of weeks. The vaccines are being administered in over 70 hospitals across the UK, including Salford Royal Hospital, who will be the first to give the vaccine over Greater Manchester. The UK Gov have said have ordered over 40 million doses, which will be enough for 20 million people. But these are not ready yet. But the companies behind the vaccine say that they'll have 50 million doses by the end of the year and 1.3 billion by the end of 2021. Anyone getting the vaccine will have to have 2 doses 3 weeks apart, and if you've had the second dose, it will take 7 days to work fully. The UK government's chief scientific advisor said it could take a month longer before the vaccine gives full immunity, stating that despite the rollout of the Pfizer vaccine, we could still be wearing masks until later next year. Foreign Office Minister James Cleverly stated that Brits who have been given the COVID-19 vaccine are set to be given cards as proof of that they've had the vaccine. But Downing Street have dismissed the prospect that the vaccine cards will become a form of an immunity passport. It's also important to say that this isn't the only COVID-19 vaccine, but it is the first to be approved in the UK. There are others such as the Moderna and the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccines which are waiting to be approved, so we could have more vaccines soon.
We are back with Alice Peoples, who is at Piccadilly Gardens to report on the growing issue of homelessness in an already challenging year.
Unfortunately, the signal was too bad there.
And now to draw you in, Rochdale artist Brooke Ellis has been busy sketching orders for Christmas.
Liz Grattan has more.
Another Christmas present drawn. This portrait will be going for £70. But how long has this taken to sketch?
It depends on the pictures. So if there's 7, roughly about, I'll probably say like 10 to 12 hours each. So that's what, 80 hours.
Brooke started the business when she left high school and her skills have been developing since then.
My past drawings from, say, when I was about 12, absolutely horrendous. Look at them now, like comparing. So I actually did a before and after of Harry Styles, a massive difference. I've never actually had any classes or anything, but it's all like self-taught, looking at videos on YouTube and stuff.
Brooke has been taking orders from all over the world, including America. Her business began to grab customers' attention after a famous footballer left this comment on her Instagram. Back in 2015, Brooke was diagnosed with cancer.
Basically, I was ill, so I had 3 wishes. And one of them was to meet David Beckham, but obviously I thought that would be too much. Like I didn't think that would happen, but it ended up happening. So before I actually met him, I thought, do a portrait for him, see if he'll sign it for you. But he found my page, commented on it, and it was about my artwork. And I just thought that was just a really cool thing to have on my page to get more customers, really. And it seems to have worked because I get, orders nearly every week.
As her orders continue to flood in, Brooke continues putting pen to paper. Liz Grattan, Keys News.
A street artist wants his space by Islington Mill to become a place where anyone can come and paint what they like free of charge.
Will Hallows has more.
A street artist known as Quebec, known for his many murals and commissions visible all over Greater Manchester, is planning to create a public painting space in Salford. The project is intended to be here at Corset Coastal on the west side of Salford. The idea is that anyone, no matter their painting skills, can come here and paint anything they like on the wall together. It will be a great way for people to try street art that would otherwise never have the chance. Quebec is hoping a huge diversity of people will come to express themselves. I spoke to him to find out more about his plans.
Immediately I was thinking it'd be great to put my artwork on there for people to see it, but then I started thinking, well, actually, no, it'd be quite cool for other people to have the chance to paint there. And there's not many places where you can actually go and paint on a large scale legally, really. So it's just it was just a thought to try and kind of be inclusive and bring artists into Salford. It's it's going to be open to anyone, really, any artist, any style. Most of the time, these kind of walls are used by similar types of artists, graffiti artists or street artists. So, kind of want to be as inclusive as possible, really. Just open it up to anybody, and specifically the people that don't get to paint on a large scale. So, yeah, if that's what it's all about, just giving people the opportunity to come and actually paint on a scale that they're not really used to.
And do you have anything to say to anyone that may be interested in visiting it?
So if you're interested in visiting it or painting it, by all means do. It's on land that you can visit. It's behind Islington Mill, which is one of the biggest art hubs in Salford. Make sure that you probably go on the weekend, maybe, because there's always cars around the car park on a weekday. Yeah, by all means enjoy it.
The 50 Windows of Creativity is filling Manchester's empty spaces with artwork. I went to spend some time with people behind the exhibition. Manchester's empty windows have now become the temporary homes of various art pieces. Wild in Art are the organisers behind the exhibition.
Our trails often do is give people an opportunity to take a moment and kind of step back and see things in a different way. So the idea was to utilise kind of empty spaces within the city, so shops that may have closed down as a result of the current situation, or utilise wall spaces, mural spaces that maybe had become a little bit stale or people had forgotten about. So reinvigorating and reusing those spaces to allow people to experience their city in a different way.
The 50 Windows of Creativity has now been extended until December 14th, so keep an eye out, like the ones here in St Peter's Square around the city. An auction will be held once the exhibition has finished, in which profits will be split between the artists and the We Heart Manchester charity.
So that money will, once again, it will not leave Manchester, it will get put straight back into Manchester. It will allow us to support the communities and these people as best as possible. It feels really important for us to be stood side by side with the creative industry at the moment, because they're really suffering, aren't they? And I think it's fair to say that Manchester without its creatives is nothing.
Around 65 artists came together to make the exhibition a reality, hopefully boosting their sales and the retailers.
So I think it just really encourages people to walk around the city and go into that shop and visit that shop as well.
I mean, Wild Art has a long history of supporting independent artists, and this for me just highlights their commitment to it. Giving artists a commission when there isn't a lot going on is incredibly valuable.
The auction will be streamed online on the 17th of December. For more information on how to bid, go to wildinart.co.uk. New Folks, Keys News.
Lockdown has given people a lot of time to think, and many people have taken an interest in mindfulness teaching.
A new community interest group has been set up in the Salford area, combining the benefits of walking and mindfulness. Jake Penkithman has reports.
This year more than ever, walking has become crucial. But for the British, everything includes a brew. Hence, Brew Walks, whose members meet online and here at Light Oaks Park in Salford.
We started sharing pictures of ourselves doing that just in the local parks, and people really liked the idea, such a simple idea. So we thought, let's make it a thing. There's some great ideas, but you know, like, oh, I've never tried vanilla rhubarb before, I'll have a go at that next time.
With lockdown providing the perfect excuse to get out walking with your friends, brew walks could not have come at a more perfect time. This meeting of Milky Tea and mindfulness is made for any open space.
There are just so many like nice parks and like open spaces in Salford, so I definitely recommend it. And also when I was furloughed, it helped kind of give a bit of structure to my day that really helped with like my mental health. And also when I'd kind of planned some like kind of new places to go, it would give me something to look forward to, like, especially when we didn't know when lockdown was going to end.
You know, we just abruptly stopped having our daily life. So I think having some sort of exercise or structure would help. Stepping outside your house and going for a walk kind of reminds you that at some point at the end of this pandemic, hopefully soon, you know, there's a world we're going to have to go back to, and we're going to get our normal lives back in a way. And I think, you know, even if it's just a walk, it gets you out of the house and it gets you thinking about other things, like things you see. You know, you might want to take a picture of the sunset.
And mindfulness is perfect because it's for everybody. There's so many different ways of practicing it, and it's ideal for these situations when it's all about future worries, you know, what if this, what if that. So, you know, people have heard of mindfulness and thought it's sitting cross-legged, saying or you know, something maybe even Buddhist or religious. But actually if you can get on board with the idea of making a cup of tea and going for a walk and noticing what's around them.
With the nation heading out of lockdown, let's hope Salfordians keep walking along the right path. Jake Pencuthman, Keys News.
We heard from Jessica Walters, who runs the Lockdown Walk Instagram page. She has been speaking to Krista Daniels.
I really like Worsley Woods, which is really close to me. Also Salford Quays is really nice. I've been on quite a lot of walks there, especially in the evening as well when it's all lit up. It's really nice. Also Monton, I went to for the first time a few weeks ago actually, and it's really like leafy at the minute, and there's lots of nice street art there as well, which is a bit different. And then I also like the Bridgewater Canal, so yeah, just walks up and down the canal really.
For most, cycling can be a trivial sport, but the advancement of technology means that you can do it all over the world from your home.
Callie Marie Trainer went to find out more.
Mammals. A popular new word to describe a middle-aged man wearing lycra. However, the advancement of technology has limited the number of mammals that we see out on the road. But what has caused this potential extinction?
What's been invented are these static bike trainers, and to go along with those, these fantastic companies, mainly from America, and their startups in Silicon Valley, they've done what you call gamification of indoor cycling. So by gamification, they've turned indoor cycling into virtual reality worlds. And an example of that is a software package called Zwift, which you subscribe to. You pay £12 a month, and basically you have an avatar of yourself in this virtual world, and you go cycling, and you can do races against other people around the world. There's always something going on in this world, and because it's so interactive, and because you get quite a lot of rewards from doing these races, only virtual, not reals, it encourages you to train more.
Zwift allows users to train in either cycling or running around their virtual world called Watopia.
For cyclists, runners, and triathletes that makes indoor training fun.
The popularity of this type of training has increased with its 1.6 million users, especially during the pandemic.
And when there was lockdown, when you weren't allowed out, then having an indoor trainer or having some gym equipment at home was really important. And for people that didn't have access to that could be quite bad for mental and physical health. But if you do have access, then you can keep your mind active and your body active, even when you're in a lockdown situation.
Callie Marie Trainer, Keys News.
We're almost 2 weeks away from Christmas, and with retailers open in Manchester again, it is safe to say the Christmas shopping rush has begun.
But how can shopping locally benefit both businesses and customers? Olivia Lindley tells us more.
Customers have lined up in the cold and the dark from as early as 5 a.m. in Manchester, keen to get shopping. But as the week has gone on, the crowds of shoppers are still eager to get into the festive spirit.
I chose to come shopping during the week because I thought it would be quite a lot quieter than it was at the weekends. I'd seen on the media about the queues on the weekend and was a little bit concerned about that.
But it isn't just the well-known stores that have had support.
I've done quite a bit of my Christmas shopping this year with smaller companies. There's been a lot of initiative to do that, and I do feel like we should be supporting the smaller companies, the smaller businesses.
Saskia runs her own online handmade jewellery store from Salford and is thankful for continued support from customers since lockdown.
Luckily, Etsy's been really good for me this year. It's been a 220% increase in sales. I've seen a real shift from everything going from like stockists and markets to online. I was really struggling to find a graphic design apprenticeship, so I decided to turn my jewellery business into a full-time job, and luckily it worked, and now I'm self-employed.
However, many small business owners are still understandably apprehensive about the future.
Before COVID, I had about 6 markets booked, so all of those got cancelled. And then also, I'm in quite a few like gift shops and art galleries and things like that, so all of those closed as well. So I wasn't getting any money from the stockists. A lot of my gemstones come from like Brazil and Madagascar, so getting a lot of my like best-selling gemstones has been quite difficult.
While there is still uncertainty, for now, independent business owners are doing all they can to encourage shoppers to shop locally, especially in the time of the current pandemic.
Shopping locally, obviously it's my job, so if people didn't shop locally, I wouldn't be doing this right now. Even like a £40 sale, it means so much more to one person making something than if you buy something on Amazon. Like, it doesn't mean anything to them really.
Olivia Lindley, Keys News.
And in other news, did you know that 7 million Christmas trees end up in landfill annually? You can rent a Christmas tree in a pot for the Christmas period in the January. The tree is returned back to the farm for someone to have next year.
That's nice, isn't it? Christmas market may have been cancelled, but there will be an outdoor winter market in replacement of that in Piccadilly Gardens. So would you go to that?
Of course I would. Any excuse for one of those mulled wines if they're selling them.
Definitely. I'd be having more than one.
Stuck for gift ideas, you can check out the 500-piece jigsaw, perfect for the fireside entertainment this Christmas, and is available now at the Folksy Christmas Market on pedal.com/online market. That's all we have time for today. Hope you have a great Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Keys News. Goodbye.
Goodbye.